When was the last time you really expressed gratitude for yourself? Not just who you are or who you're becoming, but also the mistakes, the choices you've made that have brought you here today. When was the last time you did this? Speaking for myself, I know it's so much easier to say thanks for other people or for the things we have than it is to actually sit in gratitude for myself. And that's exactly why I'm doing this meditation today, because it is to celebrate your growth and your commitment to continuing growing throughout your life. My name is Danielle. I invite you to join me today for this meditation, and we are going to start by just landing here. So let's take 3 deep breaths in through the nose if you can, and then out exhaling through the mouth. As you continue to breathe, I invite you to start feeling the heaviness in your body. Feel where your body connects to the earth beneath you. Feel the weight, perhaps, of your shoulder or your legs. Notice the way that you're drawn to the earth, the pull of gravity on your body. And as you notice this weight, I invite you also to notice the structure in your body. If you're lying down, notice the way that your bones keep you from completely dissolving into the surface beneath you. If you're sitting up like I am right now, notice how not only your spine, but your core muscles are lifting you. And as you notice this, allow yourself to soften even more deeply, because you can trust the stability of your body. We are going to connect to gratitude from this place, because it is from our bodies and the structure and capacity of our bodies that we can first find the evidence of something to be grateful for. You do not need to have a perfect relationship with your body to do this. But I invite you to allow yourself to find gratitude for what your body does well. Maybe this is the moments of pleasure that you can find through your body, being able to look at something beautiful and perceive it with your eyes, or to taste something incredible. Expressing gratitude for the ways that our body allows us to find and enjoy things is important. Because oftentimes it is that enjoyment, that joy, that pleasure that pulls us forward or helps us relax, helps us find a sense of safety And we are allowed to feel grateful for the role our body plays in that. Take a few moments, a few breaths now. And to be clear, this pleasure can be anything. It can be the pleasure that comes from the endorphins of a great workout. It can be the pleasure of sleeping in. Let your mind, let your body remind you just how much joy is available to it. Also be pleasure for music. I'm not sure. Perhaps you can hear the chimes in the background, the birds around us, the gentleness of the breeze and the sound it makes as it goes through the trees. As we express gratitude for the world around us, so too can we express gratitude for our bodies and our capacity to perceive what we find beautiful, what we find as something to seek out or to be worthy of our protection and care. This practice of seeking pleasure through our bodies in this moment is grounding. It draws us back into the moment that we're currently in. And as we do that, as we can anchor more deeply into this present moment, we can move with more intention to cultivate greater appreciation for ourselves from this place of gratitude. And that is what we are going to do now. By rooting into this gratitude in this moment, I want you to open a door in your mind's eye. Perhaps you reach out and pretend to open one. Perhaps it's just bringing your hands to your heart or your belly. But to open a door within yourself and to look back on who you once were. Every single one of us is going to be drawn to a different time of our lives. This could just be who you were yesterday. It could be who you were as a child, or even just a few years ago. Trust that whichever version of you emerges or is standing behind that door that you open is the right version. Take a few moments to observe this part of yourself and try to do so while releasing the judgments you might hold of this version or this time of your life. See this part of you who is still in you through the eyes of gratitude and appreciation. And as you begin to perceive yourself, this past version of yourself, through the lens of gratitude, I invite you to find and celebrate the parts of the self that have brought you to where you are today. This may not be easy at first. It may be easy. But if you are experiencing a level of resistance, I invite you to bring your hands to where you feel that resistance in your body and to return to your breath while still sitting with and observing this version of you, knowing wholeheartedly that this version of you deserves love and gratitude too. If you feel called or ready, I invite you to embrace and hug this past version of yourself. If you do not feel ready, that is okay. But how else can you express your willingness to show gratitude towards this part of you? How can you begin to cultivate greater softness when you think about this time of your life? Maybe this version of you made mistakes. Maybe this version of you was living a lifestyle that you feel was actively holding you back from where you are now. Maybe this version of you experienced some very difficult times. But whoever you are and whoever you were, you are worthy of love and appreciation. And this version of you has played a role in you becoming who you are today, even if you chose to become someone completely different to who you're picturing. You are allowed to celebrate how who you once were has fed into who you are choosing to become. When you are ready, feel free to, if you would like, close that door. But you also have the option here to invite this past version of you to continue the meditation with you. So whatever feels right and aligned for you in this space. And when you are ready, I invite you to open a second door. And this door, behind this door, is the person you are actively becoming. This is the person you dream of being, the life you imagine yourself living. Open this door and let yourself see this version of yourself too. Let yourself perceive and feel and respond to this version. And if you notice parts of your body tensing up or resisting this version, I invite you again to bring your hands to that part of your body, to breathe, and to allow yourself to soften. Notice who this person is. Notice the way they carry themselves. Notice the kinds of experiences they choose to have. And notice the way they choose to respond to certain situations. Some of these choices might already reflect where you are on your path and who you're actively trying to become. Others may feel out of reach, and it's tempting in that moment to feel like we cannot become this person, but that is not true, because we can. Your act of perceiving yourself and your capability and your strength is proof that you are capable of becoming that person. Just as who we once were in the past was necessary to become who we are today, who we are in the future needs this version of you sitting here in this meditation. As you continue to breathe and soften into this truth, I invite you to deepen into gratitude for this version of yourself and for the ways they are guiding you through difficult choices, through your growth, and through your decision to do the difficult things, to approach life with curiosity, and to continue imagining something worthwhile, something valuable that you are bringing into this world. Continue to breathe. Continue to connect to this version of yourself. If you would like, you may close that door or invite this future version of yourself to sit with you through the rest of the meditation. With 3 deep breaths, we are going to come back into our present physical body. Every version of yourself that you can perceive exists within you already. Every choice that you have made and every choice that you might make, that you want to make, is already a part of you. And you have already made incredible choices to get to where you're sitting today. You are worthy, and you deserve to celebrate the fact that you have made those choices. You deserve to feel gratitude for who you once were, who you currently are, and who you are choosing to become. And even when we make mistakes, even when we stumble or we act in ways that we're not necessarily proud of, we can find gratitude for how these choices and situations have revealed who we know we can be, who we know we want to become. And from this place, continuing to breathe, continuing to soften, I invite you to make a promise to yourself. And this promise can be whatever you need it to be. For myself in this moment, the promise I am going to make is that I will continue to express gratitude and appreciation for all aspects of my life and how they help me become the highest version of myself. Thank you for joining me in today's meditation. If you had your eyes closed, I invite you to open them now. And again, I just want to remind you that we don't have to be perfect to appreciate ourselves. And it is through appreciating ourselves, even in our lowest moments, that we can begin to cultivate a self-love and self-worth that helps us build the capacity to continue doing hard things, to continue putting ourselves in situations that ask us to expand our capacity or to be a better version of who we are. We are all capable of this, even when it is challenging. If you are looking for supports to continue this journey towards your highest self, to find greater clarity as to what it looks like to walk this path, I would like to offer you 2 options. One is my Unlocking Your Vision course. It is free. It is available right down below. You can go watch that video right now if you're called. The second is a guidebook that I've created, the Value Identification and Exploration Workbook. It encourages you to once again look at both this past and future version of yourself and to tease out the values behind those people so we can consciously choose, as we are today, to become who we want to become and to treat ourselves with greater gratitude on that journey. If you're interested in claiming your copy of the Value Identification and Exploration Workbook, the link to that is below. My name is Danielle. My mission is to help people deepen their connections to self, to others, and to the world around us, because our power for change and transformation truly lies in our connections. Thank you again for joining me today. Subscribe if you want to see more meditations like this one or more content about how to drive this personal and collective growth. Let me know in the comments how this meditation made you feel, and let's make your story a vibrant one.